All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is a viewer request video, and I've got to be honest, I am loving this chart right now. We will obviously talk about the details. Delivered a beautiful 27% on Friday, right? So it's almost a little bit of a recent runner as well, and the question always will be, is it going to actually sustain and keep going up, or was this just a pump and dump, right? Again, I like this chart, so I think you'll know where I'm going with this one, all right? Before we go any deeper, what are we going to do today? Same thing we do every day, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. This is the first time I've covered this stock, so I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines, and then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. Hey, if you have any stocks you want me to look at, throw them in the comments, all right? I sincerely, it's so humbling getting more viewer requests, I swear, okay? And then look, I have no crystal ball in front of me. I have no idea what Monday's gonna do. All I'm doing here is sharing my opinions, right? And hey, if yours are better than mine, I would very much love to hear them, okay? So all that said, let's get into the details. And again, first thing I like to do when I look at a new stock is I do like to zoom out, right? Oh shit, this is a new one. Ooh, nice. Oh man, there's a lot. Okay, there is a lot I like to see here. So first off, before I even get into the technicals, so I'm seeing the name Quantum in the actual name, right? Back of my head, you need some sort of smart AI something to be able to do some quantum stuff, right? Like, I don't know if this thing's doing some crazy math. I don't know if it's doing some I have no idea, right? I'm not going to try to sound smarter than I really am, but I love the fact that quantum is in the name. It kind of leads me to believe this thing's part of the AI sector, if not at least a first cousin, which is going to get a little bit of love if the AI is doing as good as I think it's going to do, right? So I love the name Quantum. I love that it's in the technology and software sector. A lot of that just screams, hey, AI connection, AI connection, AI connection. Looking at the charts, it's very, very obvious that two things are happening that you know I hate. We are doing nothing but trading under the 8 and trading under the 20. It's been a very, very bad IPO to say the least, right? Goes from 10 to less than 1. That's ugly, right? However, something seems to be happening now, and again, I sincerely believe it's the AI connection. If I had to guess, I have no idea what this thing does, but you can see the thoughts in my head. I can't believe I'm the only one that thinks it, all right? We have seen some breaks of the 20. We actually saw a very, very similar break of the 20 where it was a good candle, actually gaps up over the 50. That for sure fooled a lot of people and clearly closes under. I always say I don't care where it opens. I don't care about after hours because after hours is clearly what made that go up. I care about the close, right? So though we've seen this in a fail, I think this looks a little better. And when I say that, I'm looking actually down here, right? This was a silly volume. The day before that spike, we were trading 2 million. We then go well over 10 million, right? And again, this other one was big, but it was clearly a nasty fake out, which again, this is why I always say don't look at after hours, right? I know it's hard to do because that had to be a very silly percentage after hours, right? We're going from 150 to 180. That's a jump. I know it's only pennies, but on a dollar stock, you only have so many pennies, right? So yeah. What I like about now, and what we're going to start talking about, is this. Look at the volume. We actually didn't do some silly 5x thing. We went from 600K, 700K to 3 million, right? That's a 3x. It's actually almost like that, but it doesn't look as silly, right? I actually sincerely believe, and look, all we actually really did was hit our average. That's not silly. That's simply hitting average. Imagine what better than average will do, right? Because that's what that was. That was way better than average, right? So Yeah, right now, what we're basically at, have we hit this plateau? Not even yet. So there's really I guess you can say we hit the bottom of this guy. Okay, you know I always say it. Red, 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 you hit the plateau. Red, 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 hit the plateau. Red, 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 right? We have a lot of reason to believe this is going to come to 150. We just have a couple plateaus to break and one moving average to get there, right? So I very much care about that. Honestly, at that point, you're at the 50. So I think I'm just going to get rid of that and put her right there. That's the one a little over the, even at that point, I think I'm just going to get rid of that and put us right there. I think that's the only line I'm going to draw. Because again, this for sure is an important part. This 75 cents is 50% candle. The top of here is 80. You know, that's a good line I would draw. I think both of those are close enough to the 50 where the 50 is going to matter a little bit more than any support I would draw here. I do think between the 50 and the 100 is not going to be an easy run. And again, this is pretty much in line with our plateau anyways, right? So that 114, 120, I think that's about the range right there. But yeah, I for sure would love to know if we're a penny above this thing. Let me know that for sure. And gotta say you love the MACD. Gotta say I love the RSI. Good number. 56 is way low, right? Like we can see this thing go into the 70s and 80s, right? And just kind of zooming out. Okay, interesting thing. Look at this. We actually haven't gone much higher than this RSI right here. All right, we've hit one up here. And again, this was actually only in the 60s as well. This is probably the highest one I got. Okay, so historically, it actually hasn't been that high. However, if you saw it, it looks like, you see how like the green tip on the right has broken this line? I like that we're over it. In a little bit of a way, that's kind of like a breaking of a candle in my head too. So love all three of these for sure. Just go on up is the goal. I really see the next target being 86, then this 114, 120, and then this 144. For sure gotta say it. Listen, there are only 4 moving averages. If this thing breaks this guy, we're then gonna come to 240. If 240 breaks, ooh, we're running all the way to like 6 something, okay? I like this stock. I'll be honest, I'm going to be watching this because I think there is an AI connection here. So beautiful viewer request, if I can say it one more time. Okay, PRTT. I actually did cheat and looked at this before I made the video. That's why I started with the other one, all right? There are a lot of things that I want to talk about specifically on this chart, okay? First and foremost, I hate dashes, all right? I hate them in the minute chart, okay? If you ever see something like that on the daily chart, there's some super shady things happening, and a lot of it has to do with the volume. Let's just click on one of these dashes. The volume was 0. There was and then all of a sudden on this day, we get almost 100K. We go from 0.00000 to 100,000 shares. That's shady, all right? And you better know what you have your money in when you're looking at a stock like this. That said, look, this ticker was dropped on Thursday. If you looked at the comments, go back. Andrew, you're nasty, bro. Like, I'm not going to lie, man. I wish I saw that. I don't think I would have traded this, but man, I love seeing your comments. I'll be honest, okay? There are technical rules that I sincerely believe work on just about everything. I think it's a little easier to anticipate as you have more volume, but that said, what did we do? We broke all the moving averages. We have the 8 looking like it wants to go up. We actually just made the 8 go steeper up, right? Like that's give or take what the slope of the line is. If you know, it's now wanting to go up. This wants to go a little higher, right? It's going from that flat to like, there are technical rules. One of the biggest ones is your money above all 5 moving averages is the best place to have it. And that works on a stock that has no volume, minimal volume, that on a monster day barely cracks 100, as well as one that's in the 170 millions like a Mullen or whatever, right? So for sure, this is what happens, right? And look, you get your nice little up. It kind of starts to look like it's going to come down, and then the 8 does its job, right? Like there are just technical things. Volume just keeps increasing, right? Like as long as you have a nice little up, and look, that's a healthy uptrend too, right? What I really see is that, and then honestly, I also see that after we came down, right? So there's a lot of really, and look, again, MACD looks good. It's actually in the positive. RSI is a little high, so I might be a little worried that there's going to be a bit of a cool down, but in also a lot of ways, look, when there's so many shares traded, yeah, we're coming up to this plateau right here. We're actually exactly on the bottom of it. I would start to look at taking some profits. I think 160 might be the highest this thing wants to go, and what's after 160? Just looking, Jesus Christ. Again, if 160 breaks, there's a lot of reason to believe we're coming to 275, maybe 325, and then obviously like for something real quick. There's a couple patterns I talk about. This is an M for murder. All right, you see that right there? There's really only 2 patterns I care about. M is for murder. W is for winning, all right? And clearly we go up, down, up, and then we get murdered, right? So that's kind of cool that happens right there. But yeah, this is a far riskier stock to trade, 100% because of the volume. However, if you find the moments when you're doing some basic technical things that we talk about, regardless if it's a Tesla, regardless if it's a Bank of America, you know what I mean? Like, this works, right? So just know what you're trading. Be careful, because this, especially if volume drops, so will the price really hard. But hey, end of the day, if you're looking at a stock on Thursday and on Friday it drops 35%, you're looking at some good stuff, right? So hey, trade safely out there. If you disagree with anything, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, thank you for your time.